What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Zyba Games. The date is July 19th, 2020. This is episode 24. If you guys want, you can make sure you can check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those things. We also have our own website, Zyba.games. You guys want to find all that stuff right there in one place. That's the place to go. We also have a Patreon. We are changing up some things with the Patreon. So we originally told you guys the reason why we were doing Patreon is because we were going to switch our distribution platform into a paid one. Mm-hmm. But we changed what we're going to do with that. And we decided we'd rather give as much back as we can to the community rather. So instead, we're going to be doing a lot bigger giveaways. And let me tell you, August is not one you want to miss. I can't tell you yet exactly what it is, but you do not want to miss that one. We've been talking about it. It looks good. But let's talk about what's important. So This week, as always, we have Yogomi in here.
Hi. Hello.
But then, to make it even cooler, today we brought in a super special guest. We brought Luke Lord Insipid Ghost, host of the Xbox Expansion Pass. I mean, there's so much I could say about you, Luke, and I already kind of told you stuff before. But so Luke Lord does a solo podcast that it's hard to explain. It is the most well together podcast I have listened to. Like, it just flows, and he flows solo, and he does it so freaking well, and it gets to the point every time. But Luke, what's up? How are you today?
I am well. Thank you for the compliment. I very much appreciate it. It is super cool to be talking about Xbox right now. I feel like we're on the eve of something great with this July showcase, and I could not be more excited. I'm nervous in the best way. I feel like this is a moment for Xbox that we've not had in almost a decade. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
I was saying before the stream, before we were even talking to Luke, but I was talking to some of the people in the chat, and I was like, I'm scared to live stream react to the Xbox show because, like, my hype is so high that I don't want to, like, cry on stream. Like, and it sounds silly, but it's just like, I don't know, like, sometimes I hear things that, like, they're talking about, like, things that might happen, and, like, I get chills, man. I'm like, oh, how sick would that be? Like, we're gonna see, I mean, hopefully, we all assume this. We'll get into predictions later, but hopefully we're gonna see Fable. Mm-hmm. And, like, that has me at a level of excitement I can't even hold it in. Like, it is.
Decades had so many amazing gaming moments, but so few of those moments have come from Xbox. And instead of pulling a Google Stadia or an Amazon, they didn't bow out or fade away. They went out and bought studios. They've been doubling down on their messaging. They've created new hardware. They redesigned the entire Xbox One brand a few years ago. They want this, and that's a really cool position as a consumer to be in, to know that they are desperately working for your dollar.
Yep. And it's just, I'm really excited to talk to you right now, Luke. Listen, I really am.
Do you have DJ, do you have, look around, do you have tissue handy? Just in case. I'm just saying.
Oh, so watch the show? Oh, dude, I will. I'll have it sitting here. I'm literally like, I might stream before work because I have to go to work at like 10:30
tomorrow.
Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
No, well, on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
So 10:30
that's right.
Pacific Standard Time. The show's at 9 a.m. So it's like, it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to get a little close, but we'll make it work. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to talk to Luke because I know he listens to a ton of podcasts, and a lot of you guys all from my stream know me that, like, all I do is listen to podcasts all day at work.
Yeah.
Like, it's all day. I love podcasts.
What better way to pass time, when they're talking about stuff you love?
Yeah.
That's the trick, man.
And listening to other perspectives, people. Yeah, that's always very interesting.
Yes. Well, and like, what is it? I'm sure you've listened to, oh my gosh, now I can't even think of his name. The guy that was from Kotaku, Jason Schreier. You've read it? Like, you've read his book, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I've read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and he's writing a second one, and he has cool stuff in the works for that book, that's for sure.
Man. It's like, it's just weird. Like, I hate books. That sounds bad. I know you're a teacher. You like books, Luke, but like, I've never been a big fan of reading, but like, I got that, and I was like, man, I felt like I belonged reading that book. I don't know how to explain that.
The trick is, man, for any entertainment medium, books or otherwise, if you find something that you connect with, you're gonna consume it. So if it's books, if you don't like reading, find a topic you like and explore that. I mean, that's just. I mean, how many gamer kids, people our age and older, tried out reading through like video game magazines, looking at the pictures.
Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure.
That's the trick, man. Gosh, I cannot remember. Some of my best memories come from staying up too late, looking at pictures of Metal Gear Solid, and imagining what that game is, and rereading the same article 10, 15 times over, cover to cover. It's awesome stuff, man.
Dang, man. So Luke,
That's awesome.
Tell us about you.
About me? What do you want to know about me? There's so much to tell.
Man, you spill what you want to spill on this one, right?
Oh, okay. So, I host the Xbox Expansion Pass, and while that is an Xbox show, I work very hard to be very objective about what's going on in the gamerverse, and then specifically tying in how that stuff impacts the Xbox ecosystem. I play games on all systems. I work very hard to be cognizant and aware of what's going on in the gaming industry outside of Xbox to see how it will impact it.
Yeah.
I have a love for the brand of Xbox in a very, I think, not unique way is perhaps not the right way to say it. However, I fell in love with Xbox thanks to Gears of War in college, and I sold plasma to afford my first Xbox 360.
Wow.
Which was my dedication there. And then over the years, I mean, I was a PS4 at launch person, didn't buy Xbox One right away, and then the Spencer era kind of engaged, and I really went back in hard on Xbox when Halo Master Chief Collection came out and Halo 5 and all the emotions that can come with that for sure. But I love video games. I thoroughly enjoy many of the platforms out there. My favorite game of this generation is Arkham Knight. I don't think it's the best game of the generation, but it's my favorite because I just love Batman. And so
Yeah.
I don't know. Lots to ask. I don't know what to tell you, man.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, it's really good. Very interesting.
Last time we had a guest, he told us everything. Like, he almost gave us social security number as well. No, I'm just kidding. Not that far. Don't go there. Ah, man. And I like how you said, like, you're not. What's the word I want? You don't hate on other consoles. That's one thing that I really like appreciate when I listen to your podcast. Like, you look at them both as this is what everybody's doing. You're like, and this is what's good, and this is what's good. This is, I mean, obviously you go to there's bad things. We talk about bad things, but like so is Mr. Badbit is like one of your best friends? How does that work? So he runs a PlayStation podcast, correct?
Yeah. Badbit, longtime friend of mine. We met through video games. We've actually never met in person, but we've podcasted a lot together. We stream a lot together, and he hosts a PlayStation podcast called The Trophy Room, and it is coincidental, I think, that I host an Xbox One. He has a PlayStation One, and we're just buddies.
I think it's cool, man. That's super cool.
We love games, man. I think the best game ever made to date is God of War, PS4. That's an incredible experience. Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild are in the top 5 easy. There's no allegiance to a brand. So I had on the show a couple weeks ago, Paul Bettner is the CEO of Playful Studios. They make Super Lucky's Tale. They make VR stuff. He designed Words with Friends. He worked on the Halo MMO back in the day.
Yep.
And he talked about like he doesn't love Xbox. He loves Halo. Mm-hmm. That's what made him a fan. And by default, that meant he kind of liked Xbox, you know. And that's how I feel. I love Gears and I love Halo, Titanfall, Batman, Doom, God of War. You know, I love games, and wherever they are is where I want to be. Except perhaps Stadia right now. Maybe we'll see. And that's the thing, man. We get so much enjoyment out of it, but I would never want to be in a world where I'm like, yo, that's on a plastic box from a different brand, so I can never play as Spider-Man. That's no fun. I want that. So it's always about, for me, enjoying games, enjoying the medium, and celebrating it, as opposed to, well, it's got more pixels, or I've got more.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's no way to have fun.
I think the only time that I like personally, like I feel like I'm console warring is when I'm making fun of people that get into console wars.
All right.
Like, people are like, "Oh, we got this." I'm like, "Did you just come on my channel to say that right now?" Like,
Right. And the coolest part about these console wars right now is that Xbox lost this generation with 50 million units sold, giving gamers Game Pass with 10 million plus subscribers. They brought in games with gold this generation, and it's probably going to fade away over the next few years. If you can lose, be profitable, and hire up 15 studios, make new systems, redesign your hardware, what a great place to be in. Other generations where the console lost, they barely broke 10 million units. So it's a lot to celebrate across all of the major platforms, and man, it could not be better when they're fighting for your dollar and all being successful.
Yeah. One of my favorite franchises, actually, it's probably a number one, is Uncharted, which is obviously on PlayStation. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
That's awesome. And like if Uncharted went to, well, it's going to go to PC, but like if you didn't have access to a PlayStation, but you could play it on PC,
sure,
great. That's awesome. Like
the more people get to enjoy the game.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's why I'm so excited for this next gen. Halo Infinite on PC, on Xbox One, on Xbox One X, on Xbox Series X, on xCloud. Dope. Like that's, it doesn't matter where you play as long as you can play.
Yeah.
I always try to imagine, like, how can you be mad at your platform of choice wanting to put their games somewhere else?
Yeah.
Like, what did you, like, you want your company to make more money so that they can spend more money on what they're going to give to you. I feel like that's the thing, but whatever, doesn't make sense. Like you followed it, I'm sure, but when, oh my gosh, now I can't even remember, Horizon, that was announced. It was like, it was like the world was ending for some people. I was like,
yeah, they were so upset that they were taking it to PC. I'm like, why? Well, I don't understand. Where are you losing exactly? It's very strange.
It's, when you look to a company to justify your purchase, arbitrarily based on a number, or you want to put down somebody else's choice based because of what you chose, you're probably not as confident in your decision as you thought you were.
Right.
That's, I think, very valid.
Yeah. Well, guys. Well, normally we like to start the show a little differently, but that was fun. I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
We went. It's nice to see where you stand, Luke Lore.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm glad to be here, buddy.
Yeah, man. So we like to talk about what games we played this week. So let's just start with you. What games you played this week?
I think the biggest one is a game called Rocket Arena from EA.
Oh, yeah.
And it launched under the radar, and I have a lot of strange thoughts here about Rocket Arena. It's a third-person 3v3 hero shooter that looks free to play and feels free to play on the very beginning of it, but it's from EA by Final Strike Games. Yep. And once you start playing it, it's got a lot more depth than you think. There's a lot of really cool ideas in it. And to be clear, EA gave codes to myself and to two teammates because it's a 3v3 game. And we have been streaming it. It's been really fun. I really like it. It's weird that it's a $30 price tag buy-in because the game's really good, but it doesn't look like it should be a premium game. And it's under the radar. I mean, you launch a week ahead of the Xbox showcase and a week after Ubisoft Forward, and it's just a strange timing, but the game's fun. It's just I don't think it's going to catch on if they don't do some serious marketing for it or put it in EA Access like right away, because it relies on a multiplayer base.
Oh, right.
So in that game, there's a ton of, like, what's the word I want? Customization, but actually affecting your character customization, correct? So like your relic or different things like that. Is it relics? That's what's called in the game?
I think they're artifacts. Or relics. One of the two.
Relic is Destiny, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't it called relic? I don't know what it's called anymore. The bottom left thing on your when you pull your menu up.
But yeah, there's a lot of unlocks that serve a gameplay purpose and a cosmetic purpose. There's a lot of microtransaction options, but they're very generous with the freemium currency. And so I have not, and again, they gave me a code, just to be clear, but I have not run into a spot where I was like, oh, I must have this thing and I can't get it. That's not happened yet. But yeah, it's also got crossplay between PS4 and Xbox, which is really cool. And I'm glad to see that happening more and more. I just wonder if they didn't put this game out to die or what their choices were here. But I like it.
We just need to get this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The artifact is in Destiny, by the way.
Okay. I thought it was Relic. I don't know where Relic's coming from. What game am I? Was that BDO maybe? It might have been BDO. Do we have Relics in I don't know. That doesn't matter. Whatever. Regardless. The wrong word. You got me. What'd you play this week?
So I went back and played some more. Dang, what was the name of that? Oh, Observation.
Ooh.
Went back and played some more of that. I got pretty busy, but I ended up getting the community together and we ran Destiny Wednesday night. That was a lot of fun, actually.
Oh yeah.
We ended up with a full fire team of people in the community. We did some dailies, did a little bit of PvE grinding, and then we all jumped into PvP and had fun. And then played our game of the week, which was an experience for me because it was my first time ever playing anything from that franchise ever. So I actually went back and played that some more last night, actually, before I went to bed. So yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were gonna go right. I'm like, I played this game. You know, most people never heard of it. Destiny 2.
No, I've been so crazy. No. I was I don't know if he knows, but Destiny 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game. It's I play it every week. Before I was streaming, I was playing it, and what's crazy is I didn't know that there was a Destiny community until 2018 when I started streaming. I was like, oh wait, there's other people that play this? Holy crap. So yeah, I was a big loner. Me and one of my good friends would just play together, and now I'm way more connected now that I've started streaming and built a community. So it's awesome.
Oh yeah. Hey, Yogami, this is Luke Lore. This is Yogami.
Oh hey, what's up?
I should have introduced you guys to each other, huh?
Hello, Yogami.
Oh yeah. I kind of talked you up, Yogami, to him just a little bit ago, just so you know. But I kind of was saying, like, I was like, man, don't follow that guy. He's kind of weird. He does these weird things with these like vinyl things. I don't know what they are. They look like frisbees. So let's talk about some of the things that happened this week. So I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. I know Luke read this, and I'm sure guarantee on his podcast we'll hear about this here in a little bit. But this Phil Spencer, this letter that he basically wrote to the Xbox, I want to say to Xbox community, but really it was to everybody, because of like just how much meat he had in this. Just kind of like it was. I don't know. Yogami, did you read this? Any of this?
I did not.
Letter he wrote. It is huge, by the way. It is a very long letter. I don't know. Do we call it a letter, Luke, or do we call it an article?
It's
I don't
a blog
know.
post that they put out on Xbox Wire. You're talking about the one discussing xCloud and the iterations of that one?
Discussing
I did read
everything.
this.
Goodness.
I did read
so
this.
many things.
I sure did. As I read through it, now I'm like, oh yeah, I did read.
So I was like, man, we could take all kinds of parts of it, and I was like, you know what? I was gonna take a really long time to go through that whole thing because there is a lot in there. So I'm just gonna read a couple of little details of it, and then we kind of go through it as we go about it. So right at the beginning, he says, games are a source of joy, inspiration, and social connection. They have the power to bring us together, create empathy, and strengthen our social fabric. As we prepare for the next generation, our efforts to make gaming more inclusive, more immersive, more connected, and more social are as relevant and important as ever. Chills. See, every time, I swear, I don't know. Every time I hear Phil Spencer's like anything that he says, you're just like, man, he's knocking it out of the park right now, man. Or as the Iron Lords would say, what is it? Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius? Soon to be Aurelius Spencer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, man. And then do you see that picture they posted the other day where it's like they photoshopped his face on it looked like, I'm assuming it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it was like big old buff dude like showing up at the Xbox showcase. I was like, yeah. Because it is like, like they've worked out Xbox so much, dude. Xbox is like getting ready to come out of the gym. That kid that's just coming out of the gym just stacked out of his mind right now.
And they have to
steroids a
be.
little bit. Oh yeah.
They have to be. They're in this position due to, and as a company, due to their own choices. Years ago, mind you, because it takes time to build. But since the Matric era left, this blog post is clearly the night before Christmas message to the kids saying, all right, hope to be good on this last night, and we'll give you what you've been working for, because it is something special that they have worked towards. And the idea with xCloud is a brilliant pillar to their business strategy to enter more markets. And the more markets they enter, the more money they make, the more games they can make. And that's awesome.
Oh man, what a time to be alive in Xbox, man. Oof. We've invested all this time and money for what? To be able to play our games still. I'm so excited for it. He says, at Xbox, we listen to what you, players, game developers, and content creators tell us what you want from the future of gaming. Based on your feedback, we're building a future where you and your friends can play the deepest, most immersive and interactive games ever created across the Xbox console, PC, and mobile devices. So are we going to play Flight Simulator on our tablets?
That's a good
Eventually.
question.
Go ahead.
You
Go
think
ahead,
so?
Yogomi.
You
Yeah,
think so?
eventually.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything is going to be available via cloud eventually. That's their idea. They are working with legacy. That's why they've been created smart delivery to guide us through the first 2 years of this generation. That's why backward compatibility is what it is. That's why they're working on stuff like xCloud and tying Game Pass in with Samsung TVs and working on xCloud entering the Indian, Korean, and Japanese markets. Like, it's all a method of getting you into their ecosystem. So eventually they will have you playing Microsoft Flight Simulator via the cloud if you want to. They don't care where and how you play. They care that you're in their ecosystem. And I mean, the server racks for xCloud right now are Xbox One S's, and in a year and a half or so, they'll be Series X's. I mean, there's no reason to think it can't be that way.
Right.
Man. Playing Flight Simulator while on a plane.
Let's hope the internet's that good on a plane, but
yeah, I've been on a couple planes where it was better than others. I've been in a couple where you're like, why do we even have this? But I mean, some games I feel like are going to be tougher, right? I'm excited to see, like, for instance, we talked about like Flight Simulator going over. I'm excited to see how Gears Tactics is going to be on console.
Oh yeah.
Like, did you play any of that, Luke?
No, my PC can't run it. They sent me the code. They're like, can it run it? I was like, yeah, it can. And then I started up and I was like, Burr. So, no.
5 frames per second?
Yes, not even. So as a diehard Halo Wars fan and seeing what the real-time strategy genre can do on a console, to see this version of a strategy game, I'm excited for it. I'm a big Gears guy. I mean, I just read the latest Gears novel a couple of days ago. Yeah. And it's good. I love Gears and I want to see it be successful. But Gears 5 didn't do as well in mindshare as I would have thought it did. It did well critically. It sold very well, but people weren't talking about it 6 months later. And maybe it takes tactics to excite people or to get them back in. Whatever it is, I'm curious to see how they go about showcasing it, because Gears is a tired pillar from this Xbox One generation. It didn't move the units they wanted it to. But the Series X is going to upscale Gears 5 tremendously, and that game looks incredible thanks to its engine with
multiplayer at 120 frames per second.
Yeah, and that, but who's interested is the question. Like, I'm curious, will there be a big player base, and will Gears Tactics be adopted in a smaller niche category? Will it be more popular? Will it raise the profile? How do you market that when it's already available on PC? That's the story to watch with that one.
Man, I mean, you've seen it too, man. Xbox's marketing right now is they ramped that bad boy up.
Yeah, they did.
Man. I'm just excited. I'm sitting here and we're like talking about stuff, and I want to jump right into like doing predictions, but I don't want to go there too soon because like I have so many. I want to go through it, and like so after we go through the predictions, I'm gonna create like a scorecard for people, and I'm gonna have people fill it out and send it in, and then we'll have like a community contest to see who can get the most, and then we can have like bonus points we'll add to the end where like they can create their own, and then I'm excited. Oh man, sorry, I'm so excited for Thursday. Like, go ahead.
Josh in chat asking about Gears Tactics on console. Yeah, they said it would come to console. Specifically, they referenced Xbox One. And with smart delivery, it doesn't matter. I mean, we know if it's coming out in the next 2 years, it'll work. But yeah, it is coming, Josh. It's just a matter of optimization and timing. And so I would imagine they want to put it right alongside Infinite as better launch on Series X.
You think it's a launch title?
I think it's a launch window, and if it's not within a month or two, I would be shocked. But again, smart delivery changes that conversation in such an intelligent and difficult way, because what's a launch game on Series X? Infinite will run on your phone via xCloud or on your PC or your VCR Xbox One. It's also a showcase title for the Series X, and that's the conversation change. Their marketing and their messaging's been pretty darn good, all things considered, since Game Awards. And so I don't know what a launch title is specifically for them. Yeah. I don't think it matters either, because we're not going to say Series X much longer. We're going to say Xbox and Lockhart, Series X. It won't matter. Just Xbox. Right. And then you just log in wherever. It'll be like Fortnite. You don't play Fortnite PS4. You play Fortnite. Right.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to become our verbiage over time.
Mm-hmm. So sick. Oh, man. That's gonna be sick, man. It's just games when you want to play games, man. Who was I talking to the other day? So I guess that Gears Tactics at launch probably wouldn't be the best idea. Our plate's gonna be a little bit full about that window. We got Cyberpunk, we got Valhalla, we got Infinite. What else are we gonna have? I mean, Miles Morales is gonna be out, right?
Yeah. Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs Legion is right there too.
A lot of some of the smaller titles we saw from the March showcase, so Call of the Sea and Second Extinction. We'll probably also have...
What was that Diablo over top kind of looking game? It wasn't Diablo, it was more cyberpunk-y. Not cyberpunk, is that the word I want?
It's not The Abyss. Oh, I know what you're talking about too. Oh man, now I'm blanking on it, but I know what you're talking about. There's a lot this window is crowded, which I'm surprised Ubisoft put Watch Dogs Legion where it did instead of bumping it to January, which is a little less crowded. Yeah. Particularly with COVID coming in, but it is a crowded window the way it always is. And so people are gonna have tough choices, and Microsoft's banking on those tough choices and Game Pass to motivate people to say, hey, all right, I don't want to buy Halo Infinite and this and this and this. I'll have Game Pass and it'll give me these things.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, let's keep going with that letter that he said. Oh, my gosh, dude. You got my mind going so fast, Luke Lord, dude. I'm all over the place. I'm just like, you got me thinking of so many things. It's crazy. And then you're making me feel dumb because you're so smart, bro.
Nah, not even.
You just have a good way of saying everything that like is in my mind at the same time, and I'm just like, he put it into good words. And I'm like, I don't know how to put it into good words. So let's talk about. So you made the xCloud going to Game Pass combo thing that he talked about in September. How big of a deal is this?
Yogami, you go first, man. I'll go second.
Wait. So what we're talking about?
So in September, he says xCloud is going to be available through Game Pass Ultimate in September.
I mean, me personally, like we've talked about this a lot. You know, we have, but I haven't really talked to many other people about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't see a lot of tweets. I don't know. Maybe I'm following the wrong people, but I don't see a lot of other people that seem to be excited about it. You know, I'm still seeing tweets about, you know, PC Master Race and all that stuff. You know, like people are still stuck on their consoles and their PCs. So I don't know if this is not being, you know, promoted enough to everybody, because this is something that everyone is going to be able to use. I mean, let's be honest. Almost everyone that we know in this industry that we know has some form or some type of device that could take advantage of it, right? Yeah. But you're the only person I talk to about this. Like nobody seems excited about it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody tweets about it. The only people that really tweet about it I see are industry, like, you know, either they're working on it or they're developing a game or something like that. So I'm wondering where the disconnect is, or why there doesn't appear to be any other interest around it, because it seems like it's a really cool thing, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my concern about it. I don't hear a lot of gamers like, oh man, I can't wait till xCloud, because it seems like such a cool thing. You know, I could be traveling, take my iPad Pro with me, and then, man, we were talking about this. It's Wednesday. I'm in Chicago. But I need to catch up on my Destiny dailies. Boom, jump on xCloud. Got my iPad. Let's knock it out. You know.
Yeah.
That seems like something to be really excited about, but I don't hear people talking about it. You know,
it's true.
So
I think there are a couple reasons why you don't hear them talking about it, though. Primarily, xCloud is meant for a completely different market than North America and the UK. Mm-hmm. It's meant for a strategy into the Asian market. Xbox, or rather Microsoft as a unit group, has failed to get hardware into that market several times over.
True.
And so, what's most popular in that area? Mobile. Mm-hmm. And so that's part of it. The other part is, that's one part of it. Another part is, we're in shelter in place right now for the majority of the country. No one needs it because they're at home.
Exactly.
And that's a factor there too. Once xCloud officially launches and it can be officially compared to Stadia, whose tech is very good. The tech is good on Stadia. It's just, it's got nothing to play. And it can be officially compared and benchmarked, and people can have it as a given service. Because right now, to have xCloud, you had to have taken the steps to apply into the beta, be accepted. With all those barriers removed, and anyone that's in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate has it, then people will start adopting it and trying it. And it will work even during a shelter-in-place time, because the kid who doesn't have a TV in the house, or the dad that can't get in there because Frozen's on for its 400th playthrough in the day, they will start using it, talking about it, and adopting into that ecosystem, whether they're PlayStation gamers, PC guys, whatever else. The other part that they don't talk about yet is that we've not seen xCloud running on PC.
Yes.
Once they get xCloud on PC, that will change the game for content creators, and that's your new marketing window is content creators speaking the gospel for you, as opposed to, hey, IGN, will you please try xCloud? Hey, Game Informer, we know you are doing this, but can you try xCloud too? And they're like, well, the game's the same. xCloud's cool, I guess. That's a very different narrative than somebody being like, yo, I'm on xCloud because I'm in Chicago and I want to do my dailies. I'm here with you guys too. That's a big, big difference.
True.
We were just talking with, I think it was 2 nights ago, probably. We were talking with Josh. So Josh has like an OG Xbox. And then just circumstance-wise, getting the next Xbox is, I mean, it's not what he's looking forward to right now. I mean, like, you want that obviously, but he's not planning on grabbing one day one like we are. But he's got a Chromebook. And I'm like, imagine if you could just like play your games xCloud on your Chromebook. You're just like, oh, I want to play this game here. I'll just play with everybody else. Boom. Right. Yeah, and then it's not going to require, like, when you say content creator too. So I mean, you don't have to have this monster PC. Mm-hmm. And all it's going to take is bandwidth. Sorry, go ahead.
No. And again, you don't play Fortnite PS4. You play Fortnite. You'll just be playing Gears. Yeah. You'll be playing Halo. You'll be playing whatever it is that you want to play.
Yeah. So this is Cryptic in the chat. He says, just imagine just owning a PC. I know he's kind of saying it like in a joking way, but in the sense, like, how many people can't afford all that stuff, right? Like I'm in a good spot, right? I can afford the things that I need, right? And the things that I want. But some people can't afford PCs. They can't even afford Xboxes, right? It's just to be able to have a $200 Chromebook that you use to, I don't know, watch Netflix on. I don't know what else to refer to. Like, yeah, I don't know what else you would do with the Chromebook or watch streams. But yeah, now you can play with your friends playing all those games. Like you said, like you can just play Xbox as a service, not even just like play on my Xbox. No, it is play Xbox. Ah, man.
Exactly. Like, I don't have a streaming PC. I use Lightstream, which is a cloud-based service that makes streams look decent. So there's value in all of that.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a time to be alive, man.
Yeah, it is.
So I want your opinion on this too. So how high of quality do you think this xCloud's going to be able to put out on a PC? Say I had a Chromebook. What is it going to look like? Am I going to get 1080p, 60 frames per second, or am I going to get, you know what I mean? What do you think, Luke, on that?
Yeah, well, you won't get 4K for a while. There's no need to. In fact, recommend, the next XEP, I talked to somebody specifically about that, but they're 1080p probably to start. It should be equivalent to Stadia. You shouldn't be doing better or worse than Stadia, really, in terms of tech. I mean, catalog is a very different thing. But they've had it in beta for a year. There is latency. It's noticeable, easily adjusted. If you can hit active reloads in Gears, though, it's very playable. If you can play Ori, it's very playable. And continue onboarding people and working on your network and your infrastructure. And I think it's going to be slow to start. And 2-3 years from now, you've got a top-notch quality product. And that's what they're banking on. And again, this is for the faster internet markets of Korea and Japan.
Right.
This will make its way into the United States as infrastructure improves. But I mean, the Wi-Fi is good enough right now that it works. I mean, I can use it right now. I'm at my house. I can have my Xbox right there. I don't need it. But that's the big trick.
Nice.
I like that. So 5 said a good thing too. So they need to differentiate xCloud so they don't get labeled as another Stadia.
Yeah.
Well, having the games is automatically their differentiator.
Game Pass wins that fight.
Yeah.
And the whole point of that letter and that blog post from Spencer was to say, hey, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you've got xCloud. Use it if you want. It's there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it can't be labeled. Like, people won't ignore it. They just will use it or not based on need. And that's the big thing. It's lumped in. As Xbox Live Gold fades away over time. So in comes xCloud. So.
Right.
Man.
Sorry, Yogami, go for it, buddy.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. We don't often get guests on here, so I want to hear everything you have to say.
You're totally. Me and Yogami spitball all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
We just barely started bringing in guests because
this is actually a treat for me too. So this is awesome.
Cool. Well, let's talk about this Series X stuff that just came out. The velocity architecture. So I'm not gonna act like I know everything that it was talking about. There is a lot in that article. It was way deeper than I could even try to go. I was like, that's a lot of cool things. IO throughput. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I think the biggest thing, the one thing that I kept focusing on that was cool to me was the fact of the 100 gigabytes of virtual RAM. And I think some people don't understand. I think when we get this console war talking about solid states and different things and how great and fast ours is versus how slow Xbox's is, I think people underestimate how important the 100 gigabytes of virtual RAM is. I mean, imagine, I was trying to explain it to some people yesterday. Imagine playing... What Call of Duty is way too big. I can't use Call of Duty as an example, right? Because with 120 gigs right now, freaking kidding me. But imagine playing Destiny's not. How much is Destiny right now? Isn't it 80?
Something like
85?
that. I don't know what the next expansion is going to be.
So imagine you could have the entire game of Destiny preloaded all the time. So you don't have to go into the next area and load up where you're going. You don't go to the tower. You're like, let's go to the tower. You see your ship fly. Boom, you're at the tower.
Yeah. It'll be like PC screens because I can't count how many times I'm in the middle of a situation where I need to change weapons and I'm waiting seconds on a black screen while whatever enemies are just just dousing me with fire. But then you see on PC, they're just like, bam, they just go right to the screen. I'm like, we need that on console.
You can get a hotkey to do the macro for you on PC.
Yeah.
It's that fast.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to play devil's advocate, right? Somebody said why this is bad. You're not going to get those tips on those loading screens anymore.
Oh, darn.
All right. You know how important those are?
Changed.
It's going too fast now. Now we're not going to be able to get those little hints that we needed, okay? I don't remember who said it. I think it was Tundra that said it. I was dying last night. He said that. I was like, I never thought of it that way, but I mean, that could be kind of sad.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, I like Destiny's a really good example. So you're playing Destiny, and you're like, I need to pull up my menu. First, you hit to open your menu. Let's just wait. Okay, well, now we see boxes and outlines.
And then you have to hover over the thing, and then hopefully the thing will pop up. Sometimes the items don't all pop in. So I have the OG Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and I have the X. And I have noticed a performance difference between the three. I haven't noticed a huge jump between the S and the X. The S is still pretty good, and the X is definitely faster, but it's not like a whole lot. But what I wonder, what does this mean for loading in for PvP? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how fast that would be, because they always have to find players. Yeah. So imagine players are always kind of ready. I'm really curious how fast it would be to load in a PvP game. You know, would you still need the tips when you start, or would it be so fast that you're like, whoa, we're already
ready to go. It's like matchmaking, go.
Yeah. Because I also think there's several things. You got the load in, finding the people. Let's just think about the few screens that you see. You load in, they're trying to find players. So finally you see the 12 of 12, and then there's a little bit of delay. Boom, the ships start flying toward the planet. Then you get a black screen. Then it's quiet. Then you get a screen that shows the planet, or I think it's show the planet, and then it shows the players. So it's like they're putting as many screens in front of you to get the game ready. You know,
we played that one time, Young Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the load screens on there? We played Youngblood, right?
Yeah, Youngblood.
Gosh. The elevators, you're just like, here we go again.
And then we had to watch the stupid animations.
Luke, did you ever get to play that, the Wolfenstein Youngblood?
I had the opportunity to, and respectfully, I turned it down. I wasn't really interested in it. I love id games, and those shooters are incredible, but I had my fill of Wolfenstein 2 and didn't jump into Youngblood.
Oh, okay.
It's more or less the same thing, just a little bit of icing on the cake, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what else to refer to it there. And then it's, you literally, to go to the next area, you get into an elevator, and it's just, they play this weird music, and the people are doing these weird dances, and you're like, this is weird.
And remember we talked about on the podcast, because this game was developed by it was a European company. It wasn't American. It was I forget who the company, but we were like, who thinks this is funny? Like, when we see these cutscenes, and it seems like they didn't quite have the pulse on what most people think is funny, because they would do like some stupid dances or something that might have been funny maybe 10 years ago, but it was not funny at all. Yeah. And it was actually just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the ability of gamers to be awkward.
That's true. That's true.
It did look like two gamers dancing. You were like, well, this is weird. I mean, and we've been to a lot of PAXs.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when you get those clubs and like they're having like a party and like they start drinking a lot, you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah, it happens.
yeah. You know what? They're true insides. They're showing now. You're like, oh, okay, I get you. Ah, man. So Luke, have you had the opportunity to play like any PC games before? Like,
not
recently?
Really. No, not really. By choice, like I choose to put my money into other places. Rent, not rent, mortgage, whatever. I used to saying that. No, I'm not a PC gamer, man. It's just not been something I've been interested in. There is a meta that comes with PC gaming, as there is if you're into cars or anything else, and that's not really my jam. I just prefer console and console space, and that's been a preference for me. There is no. I don't know how to say it. It always sounds fanboyish, but like I just don't care about PC gaming. You guys go do your TurboTax and enjoy your teraflips and skips, and I will have a good old time on my console. But that's the real talk. It just doesn't bother me.
I'm with you there too. I have all Macs here in my studio because of what I do for a living. So what I've done for a living for several years. So Mac is kind of my go-to. It's just not considered a gaming machine, even though you can play games on it. I have Steam. I think I told DJ I played the first Diablo on a Mac, like 90, 97, 98 or something like that, 97. Also, it's just with, I don't know, like you said, building a computer and having this big giant thing in here, it just doesn't appeal to me. Like I have another big piece of equipment in here, you know.
But where I was going was most you guys haven't had the experience of going from like a mechanical hard drive to a solid state yet.
Well, now I have, just not gaming.
Okay, yeah.
Just not gaming.
That's true. So
because
if you ever, like,
I edit 4K
remember,
footage, you know, so there's
true.
a difference. Yeah.
I just when I first got my PC, I had built it, and I built it mainly so that I could get a better looking, like get my stream to be able to do more output, right? Because I was running like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like a Pony something. It was a long time ago. This old graphics card, and I finally upgraded it, and then like that was night and day. And then I remember someone was like, "Hey, you need to try to put your operating system on a solid state." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, just try it. You'll see what happens. It's a lot nicer. And I just remember. I mean, you guys still remember the days, right? Turning your computer on and waiting, like 5 minutes sometimes for that thing to be able to get to. Man. Yeah, you got to let it warm up. Let the hamsters start running in there.
Here's the thing, man. The only way I'm really going to be interested in PC gaming is if Henry Cavill brings those massive Superman Geralt of Rivia arms into my house and builds a PC next. And I will flip teams, and he can do whatever he needs. That's the only way I'm interested in PC. That's my Superman right there.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I had a
wait. Did you say that's your favorite Superman?
Favorite? No, I said that's my Superman. I will tell you this, man. Love Henry Cavill as Superman. Love Brendan Routh as Superman. I think, I forgot the gentleman's name who plays it in Supergirl. He's legitimately quite good at Superman. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Christopher Reeve's a legend. I genuinely think we've had very fortunate casting members, except Ian Kane, as Superman.
Wow. You know what? I was just thinking of, since DJ, he would really like Yogomi Show Me.
I don't know.
You would really.
I was trying to tell him, I'm like, dude, he's got Yogomi does so many cool shows, dude. And like Yogomi Show Me, like everything you said would just fit perfect.
You would fit perfect. It's yeah, because we talked about the first episode was all superhero movies, and we talked about Superman, actually, a few different Supermans. So.
Let me just give you the opinion that really makes people run for me faster than when I tell them I actually enjoyed Crackdown 3. I am all in on this Snyder Cut, and I liked the Ultimate Edition of Batman Superman. So send your hate accordingly. Unfollow where you need. I liked the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman. I thought Batfleck was pretty darn cool. I wish we saw more of him.
I'm
excited to see what the Snyder Cut is. Yeah, me too. Darn right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have HBO. It's I was all about it. I'm all for it. You know.
Yep.
I'm all about Drusilla goes and follows.
Yeah. Thank you, Drusilla. Josh, not a fan on that one. That's okay. I can talk about Anthem if anyone wants me to run or to tell them other opinions that don't get a lot of love.
You know, you would, man. See, look, I got this whole group of people that I've like over the 4 years we met, and like every time you say something, I'm like, I match you to somebody in my head.
Nice.
I'm like, oh man, Luke Lowe would get along really well with Lupo too.
Nice.
Lupo to the rescue. I'm like, man, it's like, dude, he still streams Anthem like once a week.
Oh, that's right.
Really?
Yeah, he sure does.
Very cool.
Plays Destiny. He's never stopped playing Destiny. Mm-hmm. He I don't know if he does anymore, but he had a Warframe night. Fallout 76. He still loves that. He plays that like once a week. Like, that's wild, man. That guy's. Yeah, he's those guys who says, I don't follow trends with gaming. I play the games I want to play.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
Well, we've been talking for a really long time already, and I know Luke Lowe's been going for a long time already.
Yeah.
And we try to
committed.
Keep the show
man.
anyways.
I'm here, man. I'm excited to hang out with you guys. You're good.
Yeah, well, we try to keep the show like an hour and a half. Like, that's about our sweet spot. And we still got a lot to talk about because this Xbox showcase is going to be wild. I'm going to blow through this stuff. This is the Game Pass thing that's coming out. All these games coming to Game Pass here, which don't get me wrong, a lot of these are massive. But we're just going to kind of blow through this. So Xbox tweeted, put out the thing, they put the little image out, and they're like, this is what's coming to Game Pass. And you're like, oh, I got excited with a lot of these. So we have Forager coming on console PC July 16th, Mountain Blade Warbrand console July 16th, Carrion console and PC July 23rd. That one I'm excited for.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Me too.
Luke, you checked that one out too. I guarantee you saw that one on
Carrion? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Devolver. It was a Devolver, right? The showcase, Devolver Digital?
Devolver's the publisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Phil Spencer was like, hey, check this out. I want that. Golf with Your Friends is coming to PC Game Pass, even though it's already on Xbox Game Pass. But Luke, have you played that?
No, man, not a golf guy, but I hear that it's kind of like Mario Golf, where you can be into it too.
I'm not a golf guy either. I don't play golf, but I have fun with that game because
you need to get in. Like we do community nights with that game, and it gets
fun,
intense, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually very fun.
Cool.
The crap talking that goes down in that game, man. And then when we turn contacts on, oh man, you start smacking each other. It gets really exciting.
It is very fun. We haven't played in a while, and we're going to have to get some games in soon.
Man. Here we go. We got Grounded Xbox game preview, console and PC, July 28th. I'm tempted to actually try that. So I played I don't know. Did you play the Insider on that one, Insipid or Luke? I keep calling every time I see your name, I literally want to say Insipid, but I want to call you Luke here. They read Luke.
Fun fact: really... do you know what insipid means?
I don't.
Okay, look it up, and then it's funny. I didn't make you say anything.
Well, it means like. Okay, it means like kind of bland, like dull, doesn't it? Right?
Dull,
lacking
boring
flavor.
Yeah. It means like
I like
when
that.
Something is insipid, you're just like it's kind of just
it's
there.
Uninteresting.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
The boring ghost.
yeah. But no, I Grounded is one of those strange things.
Wow, wait, did you see what Drusilla just said real quick? I'll point this out for you because you need to see this. She said, we need Luke around here more so I'm not the only one teaching you things, DJ.
The compliment to me and the shade to you puts me in a very awkward position. But
it's okay.
Thank you.
I just accept what she says. And just
apparently she thought that I think there's too many keys on the keyboard. I saw that, Drusilla.
Well, the thing about Grounded is it's in a really unique position because it's not the game anybody wanted or asked for. It's Obsidian making this thing. We thought they have 3 teams. They have a high, a middle, and a low team in terms of staff members, I should say. It's not like a quality thing, but like a big team that's making something you haven't seen yet. They have a middle team which made Outer Worlds, and then the very small team is making Grounded. And nobody asked for it, and nobody would have thought to ask for it because it's a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids simulator.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're putting a lot of love into it, and props to Microsoft for doing that because what it does is it garners goodwill with the Obsidian team and the environment of people that are there getting to express and create. It makes them a more inviting, I don't know what the right word is, but an inviting a parent company to say that, hey, we are letting people make the games they want to make. I mean, Bleeding Edge did get released, and that exists as a thing that was released. But those people were allowed to execute their vision. And then
gotta flex some creative muscles.
Exactly. And in doing that, you might give somebody something they really enjoy. You might catch on and have a Sea of Thieves situation where maybe a little tepid at launch and then it explodes later on. And Grounded, there's a lot of cool ideas in that. It's just nobody was thinking, oh, you know what I want to play is this. But it's getting a lot of traction in the early goings from what I understand. And props to them for setting it up for a 2021 release. And maybe it'll do well. Maybe it won't. And all right, they've still let people make what they want to make.
That's in 9 days.
Yeah.
The insider ring, right? Not the full release.
It says Xbox game preview, so I'm pretty sure when it's on. Is that insider then, or is it Xbox Insider?
I was confusing my verbiage.
Go ahead.
That's all. I was just confusing my verbiage. Preview being versus its full release, and once it gets achievements, I get interested. So.
Not like a ARC that was on a preview program for 3 years. Goodness, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why I dedicated so much time to that game, but that game was garbage for the longest time. Like nothing's worse than like taming something for like multiple hours just to have a server freaking drop and you try to get back in and you lost that dinosaur.
I saw so many people streaming that game and it made me even less interested in it because of all the stuff that you just said. I was just like, wow, these people are having a lot of problems with this game.
I still play a lot. I'm excited for Grounded though. I'm definitely going to get in on that. I played the little hour, what is it? I don't even remember how long we got to play. A 2-hour insider thing that they did for us where you could play it for 2 hours and then it reset. And it was actually fun. And I heard a lot of other people going wild. And they're like, I didn't know that I would love this, but I love this.
Huh.
That's
So
awesome.
we'll see. I mean, it's on Game Pass, so we might as well try it out.
Yeah. might as well.
July 30th. Oh, no, wait, I skipped one. Yeah, no, not July 30th.
No, you're good.
Nowhere Profit, console and PC. The Tourist, console and PC, July 30th. And Yakuza Kiwami 2, console and PC, July 30th. I haven't tried a Yakuza game yet.
I haven't either.
I feel like a bad person. And I
haven't
bet you
either.
Luke's done one.
I tried one, and all I want is Sleeping Dogs 2. I just want another game like Sleeping Dogs.
Oh,
And I thought this would be it. It wasn't. It's a very good game, like very clearly a good game, but marketed to a different group. But it's another example of Xbox seeking out a tick off their checklist of a game that was once PS4 exclusive is no longer. And
Right.
that's, again, working towards a bigger strategy later on. And so those games are great. And if you have any mild interest, Game Pass is the best entry point to them. Try them out, see if they're for you, and then if they are, shoot, nearly the entire catalog is there, and they will be there by the end of or by mid 2021, I believe.
No.
Man, I just like, so I'm going to pull us back to xCloud. So imagine you're on your console and you look at Game Pass and you're like, yo, that game looks cool. I want to try that one. Now you don't have that wait time of waiting to download that game. You just go play that game. And you're like, oh, you know what? I don't like this game. And then you just close it and go do something else. And
I have a back end theory that your Xbox One systems will be doing that next year. So if you want to play a next gen game or something like that, you'll be able to access xCloud. I think that's what's happening, but I have knowledge.
That does make a good point. A little xCloud device, basically.
Yeah.
It's your Apple TV, but it's just the little Xbox. But it's huge, but still. I guess not as huge as a PlayStation 5, but you know what I mean. Goodness. I want to hear your opinion actually on this. So what do you think of the design of the PlayStation 5? Luke?
Cool.
Because
It's
we talked
cool.
about it.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. It's very cool looking. It's just too big.
Yeah.
That's all. But at the end of the day, no one really cares. We all
Yeah.
want a good looking system, but no one really cares. If I can play Miles Morales and that's the only way to do it,
Yeah.
okay, I'm in.
Right.
You know, it is too big, but it's cool looking. They're having a really big heat problem from what people that smarter than me are saying. I don't know a darn thing about it.
Or that know more people than we know.
Correct. Yeah. I don't know a darn thing. It's big, and I don't want a system that large, but will I ultimately care? Will I notice it a week after I have it? Probably not.
Yeah. We joke about it, but being like a router like everybody does. But at the same time, like, I mean, that is a sexy looking box. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that thing, you're just like, wow. Like, you look at the edge of that, you're like, holy crap. Except for when it has what do they say on the Iron Lords? The hernia on the side for the disk drive. I was like,
Thick or thin. It's simple as that.
it's like, your little hips, you know. Let's do this little last news story too. So, Xbox Flight Simulator launches on August 18th. You got me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you don't have a PC.
Yeah,
You
but
get to play it, but launching on PC first.
yeah. On first, but it is coming to console though, right? If I
Yes.
remember. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. I think I told you about my friend back in the 90s. He was a big Microsoft Flight Simulator guy. And so much in fact that now he owns, his own plane in Colorado, and he still plays this game. So he kind of got me into it back in the day. So I'm excited to actually have a version of it for me to play on console. Eventually, I can wait.
So there's different editions, right? They come with like different airports, like more sketched out, or not sketched. What's the word I want? Yeah,
Detailed?
detailed out airports,
Yeah.
yeah, and more planes. I was listening to a news story about this too. So they already talked about this, but they're actually going to have an in-game mod store where creators can sell their mods on the store inside a flight simulator. So like, say you want to add, I don't know, you want to make a different kind of airport. You know what I mean? You want to make, I don't know. I was reading about it. I was like, man, that's wild to think about. Like that, like they're and there's like I don't remember how many it is. And so, yeah, you get like 5 cents for a percentage. Yeah, you get a percentage of what you sell. Like, that's wild to me to think about, like that we've gotten to that point in video games where like Is that going to happen on console? I don't know. We'll see. Everything's kind of one of those up in the air still on where the separation between console and PC does come from.
Right.
And some of it's not as important as others, but I feel like if you're going to go really hard in Flight Simulator, you're probably going to have a PC and a big old flight deck and everything, but
Yeah.
So let's talk about our Game Pass game of the week. This week we played Wastelanders Fallout 76.
Yes.
So Luke, I kind of wrote in there. So we don't rate it on numbers, right? We just do we do amazing, good, great, and is it amazing, great, or good?
Then good.
It's great. Yeah, great is higher than good. I don't know why I messed that up in my head. Amazing, great, good, and not for me. And so we just kind of talk about it. I'm sure you've played Wastelanders at some point. Most people have tried it.
All right, so I didn't. And
you haven't played Voice? What?
When you said, "Hey, we're playing," it's our Game Pass game of the week, I said, "Do I lie and pretend like I didn't see that? Do I tell him I just am not interested?" I mean, with all respect, it's not. I've never cared about Fallout in any way, and just we all have those gaming gaps.
Yeah.
It doesn't speak to me, and it never did.
Well,
so
that's me too. So I never played Fallout before this. We made it the game of the week. I don't know. I can't say that I would have played Fallout if we hadn't made it the game of the week, right? But I've seen people play Fallout. I've watched people play Fallout. There's streamers we know, partners that we used to know on the other platform that theme their whole branding around Fallout. And it still didn't make me want to play any of the games for some reason.
Still not for me, though.
Yeah. So this was the first time that I had ever played any Fallout game whatsoever.
Did you like it?
I did.
You sound so confident.
Well,
it's a weird
It's a very strange game. It wasn't what I expected. I didn't understand. I don't think. I don't play a lot of survival games, so I kind of forgot about the survival aspect of it and the building and you got to drink and eat and hydrate, all these other things. You'll be walking down the street and there's some crazy I don't know, mutant monsters attack you for no reason. You don't even know they're coming. They're just like, what the heck is behind me? It took some getting used to, but I will say that I didn't dislike it. I was like, okay, all right. I don't know. I don't see myself coming some big giant Fallout fan. Like, oh my gosh, I'm all in now. But I did go back and play some more last night, and I may play some more this week just to kind of get the feel of it and be in the know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of be.
I feel like the name Fallout on this game really gives you the wrong idea of this game. Like I don't think that this is not a Fallout game. Like, yeah, there's radiation, whatever. You got a few things like that, but this game plays completely different than any Fallout I've played. It's Fallout. We can't say Fallout 76. It's more like Fallout MMO.
Right.
And to me, that was what made it fun. I actually enjoyed that. Once we got to the point where there was a bunch of us all playing together, I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah. That was actually very fun. A bunch of us together playing.
We even had people coming to play with us that weren't actually in our party in the game. They were just playing with us.
And I could ask people questions when I had to, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know, I didn't understand, and I was like, wait, what do I got to do, or what is this for? And so it was a learning experience for me. But I did enjoy it. I will say that I actually did enjoy it. So
let's go through some of this list then. Okay. Because you'll probably be pretty close to me on most of these. So graphics, how'd you feel on graphics?
I thought the graphics were great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they weren't bad. They
weren't amazing. They didn't have me like, oh my gosh.
But sometimes you look at the distance of the sunset and you're like, oh, that looks really cool.
But then you get up close to things and some other things and you're just like, they could have done better.
So that's definitely great. I'm gonna stick with that as well. Story.
The story was kind of weird.
I don't even know what was happening.
Yeah,
go kill this guy. You're like, okay.
Yeah, like, why am I doing all this? I'll just put good because at least it gave me some direction of what to do, but I still didn't understand why I was there and all that other stuff. I probably didn't play it long enough, so, but.
Tell you what, Luke, if you play this, Luke, the one thing you'll notice, the voice lines on that game are the longest things you'll ever
the dialogue?
hear.
Yeah.
There's so much dialogue. You're like, can we stop? Like, and you're just watching like a bad crafted person trying to talk, and you're like, I can't watch this anymore.
5 in chat says something that so many people have said to me, that Fallout 76 is a completely different experience than Fallout 4. So many people have said that to me. They said, you need to play 3 and 4. Everybody, when they were watching me play it, they said that. So I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Gameplay.
I actually like the gameplay. I thought it was great. I actually like the gameplay.
Shooting felt good.
Mm-hmm. Moving around and the building and I like the gameplay.
Replayability. How you feeling on that?
Well, obviously, this is the one where I'm going to give it an amazing, because it seems like you could play this game forever.
Yeah.
You know,
from what I heard, there's end game, but I hear the end game's like the worst end game they've like anybody's put in any game.
Well, I'll just.
But there is end game.
I'll definitely avoid. I'll steer clear of it.
Once you get to that point, you're like, you know what? I think I'm at end game. I think I'm done. So, what are you gonna give it overall?
I'll give it a great overall. I mean, average would be a great for everything I'd said. You know, definitely not amazing. I think it's better than good, and but I'll give it a great.
What's funny, Luke, is like me and Yogami maybe said everything pretty much the same right there, but like we are completely different gamers. Like Yogami thrives off story games.
Yeah, like puzzle story games. I love them.
And I hate story games. I get bored so fast.
But you did. But
if it can grab me in the right way, say like if it touch me in the right way, then maybe we'll stay.
Like a Plague Tale.
Yes.
Yeah, you really like.
Did you gonna play that one, Luke? Did you play Plague Tale?
No, that is actually on my to play list as
yeah,
well.
It's a great one.
Such a good game.
It's not like I'm avoiding it the way I would a Fallout game. I just haven't gotten to it yet. That's all.
Yeah.
I think it was, how long was that game? It was like 7 hours?
Yeah, something
6
like that.
hours,
It wasn't very long.
Oh. Oof. Yogami. Yeah. And then, Yogami's like icing on the cake is Destiny. He's just like, anything I do, I can just put Destiny on top and it's all good.
Yeah, I love Destiny. I just love Destiny.
So if there was anything to fix in that game, Yogami, what would you say you'd fix in that game?
So shorten the dialogue, first of all.
Yes.
The dialogue was super long, but I knew this going in because I've watched so many people stream these games. This is the beauty of streaming platforms. Is you can go watch a game that you've never played before and make somewhat of an informed decision of whether you want to play it, you know? So I've seen so many people play this game, and I've seen those scenes where they're just talking to somebody, and I'm like, why are they talking to them so long? And now I get to experience it firsthand, and you know, there's got to be a way to do this in different chunks or something like that. But it's, I don't know. It seems like all the information that they were saying and they were talking. I mean, think about how long they had to be in the studio to record all that dialogue. There's so much dialogue in that game.
Oh yeah.
But
how many different people they used as well, or they just change? You know, what I mean, they could use changers, right, to change it, but
true.
It still felt like it was like what in that?
Yeah, it was a lot of dialogue. I think I just wish there was a bit more of what can you say? Sort of like an overarching storyline that you knew about going in. You know, not just that the world is post nuclear and it's a bit. I felt you just feel kind of aimless. You know. But again, maybe I need to play a bit more. But I
think the online stuff was a pain, dude. Remember how long it took us to get together?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, why can't this just be like click go? It was like, no, it was like click, oh no, it doesn't work with this person. You're like, try to invite this way. Wait, where do I enter? Where do I accept this? Like,
Right.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, Fallout 76, JD. Dean Master. So what do you want to do next week? Because we have kind of a big thing happening next week.
We do.
I mean, we can just pick like a cheesy game.
Let's do that.
And when I say cheesy game, there's a certain game I'm thinking of, but now I don't know where the heck I put it at. What did I don't know where it just went. I'm in their Discord, and for some reason I can't find it now. What is that wizard game?
The wizard.
They're always at PAX's.
Wait.
Goodness, this is killing me. Do you remember the wizard game? The wizard. Oh my gosh. Where's Pobo at? Mage Quit. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Mage Quit. It's just like an online kind of game, but it's kind of fun.
Let's do it.
It's like a party mage wizard
Let's do it.
game.
I'm down.
And that's definitely one we can do like a community night with as well.
Sure.
But the reason why I want to pick an easy game is because we got this big old boy to go through right now. We got this Xbox showcase.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready for this, Luke.
Oh, I'm
gonna get wild.
I know.
Are you kidding me? I'm stoked.
Seriously though, like I'm like really questioning, do I want to stream it or not? Because like, how embarrassing would that be if like I start crying, bro? Like they show Fable and then like I got tears coming down.
And then
like,
all
oh
the
gosh.
haters come in and see you crying. Then you got to deal with that.
Oh man.
It's like this guy's crying.
Let's just start right from what we know is gonna be at the top. Actually, no, I got an idea. I want for first. This is my prediction. Xbox Live Gold is gone.
Yep.
And I want to hear Luke's on this because I know me and Yogomi talk about this a lot. Well, what do you think about this Xbox Live Gold? Because we know they got rid of the 12-month, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're phasing out 12 and 6 months. Yep.
Do you think they're just going to get rid of it?
Gradually, yes.
Well,
Yes.
5 just posted today in my Discord, in my gaming news channel, about 3:30 today, that Game Radar has an article that says Microsoft confirms 12-month Xbox Live Gold subscriptions are no longer available on its online store.
Yep. Gonzo.
It's going away from their digital storefronts. They'll allow and write out any legalities they have from people that are signing up and signing into it.
Mm-hmm.
But the wording and the messaging is the key here. Removing the paywall, important. However, that would allow them to say, hey, no more games with gold either. Game Pass is taking the way of that. But you got to be careful when you say to a consumer base that you're taking something away, even if it's a good thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So adjusting their verbiage and saying, we are removing the paywall so that you can, if you want to play Fortnite, it's a free-to-play game. You don't need Xbox Live Gold, or we're giving it to all our users would be a better way to say it, or what have you. Combining Xbox Live with the Game Pass base subscription is another good way because they care about users and engagement. That's how they make their money. So rolling over or combining the two is a great way to do it. But they're phasing it out so that the next few years it can just be Xbox as a platform, whether you're on your PC, Game Pass, you're on your Samsung TV with a controller, xCloud, what have you. And I do see it going the way of the dodo, allowing it time to do that. And xCloud is what they're adding into the service while they're taking something away. Again, it's verbiage and interpretability. Bless you, perhaps, maybe?
Yeah, I was just I turned way far away.
So I do think Xbox Live Gold is going away. I don't think it's this year. I think they're phasing it out and they would acknowledge the phase out, but I don't think they would do that in a July showcase. Aaron Greenberg said already distinctly
games.
This is all games, no services, no devices. They have another showcase in August where you'll likely see Lockhart. There's a lot to unpack here, but there's no reason for Xbox Live Gold to exist any longer when their competition says, just download Fortnite and play.
Yeah.
And there you go. And that's the trade-off there.
Yeah. And Game Pass,
Game Pass.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Now, do you see Xbox? Maybe they said all games. Do you see them bringing in anything that's like that kind of contradicted ourselves and did something else? But you're gonna want to know about this. Like, obviously, they're not gonna say we just purchased Warner Brothers Studios Interactive. Like, that would be cool, but they're not gonna do that. But do you think Do you think anything in those grounds, Luke? Do you think that they pick up a studio or?
Well, they've definitely picked up something.
Yeah.
That's not in doubt. What if the deal with WB is real? Because Microsoft is absolutely sincere about that. They have the market capital of over $1.2 trillion. They can buy Sony several times over as a big company. And Xbox themselves is extremely profitable, particularly in the age of COVID where all game spending is going up. And so that means Phil Spencer, who already sits next to Satya Nadella at the table, can go to him and say, AT&T is looking to sell. We can get these quality studios. This is our profit margin if we sell on multi-platform. This is our profit margin if we sell into Game Pass day and date. This is our profit margin if we keep everything exclusive. And he can make those deals. If that was a thing they did, they'd be competing at Activision, EA, and Take-Two, who all have money but not the same money. Yeah. And the legality process of managing IPs, managing current portfolios takes time. So in the realm of seeing that, you're most likely to see, if it goes down, at the very end of the show, you see a bat cape flutter and the WB logo. See you in August at
bro. It's got motherfucking
fandom.
Chills, bro. Holy, did you saying that, bro? Like I was like, oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, that's how I envision it to happen. Like there are several third-party things that could happen here. The Splinter Cell game gets revealed here because the Ubisoft Forward disappointed. You see gameplay or you see a trailer for Splinter Cell. We'll see you at the next Ubisoft Forward in August because we know they said they're having one. Cool. And why wouldn't they show it at their last one? Because they've got a deal with Microsoft, who piloted Sam Fisher in the 360 gen original Xbox generation. We see the WB logo flash with a bat cape because they said that they wanted to show their new game. We also know NetherRealm, who would bring with them their IP, whereas WB Montreal and Rocksteady do not. NetherRealm does bring their IP, and we know they're working on a game that's not a fighting game. Yes. So are they making something special that's unique, like a new IP, or are they making another DC game? There is a rumor that is completely unfounded that they are working on one of the DC games that's not Injustice. That's cool because they're very talented. Yeah. You know, like neat. Who cares? Maybe cool, but that's how you get that third-party tease that's not games. Mm-hmm. But it's more of a, we'll see you later. This is relevant. We just want you full hype on our show.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
My goodness, bro. You imagine? I was thinking too. I was like, NetherRealm. Imagine a Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct.
Yeah, a lot of people throwing that out there. It's way too early, but yeah. But the idea of Ed Boon, who likes Killer Instinct, working on it, pretty cool idea. And NetherRealm is just good at telling stories. They made 2 Injustice games super interesting with a through storyline from 1 to 2 and comic books. And they made Mortal Kombat interesting on its 10th and 11th iteration. Yeah. Like, what? They managed to make it interesting in a story-based fighting game. So that's 4 fighting games with DLCs they managed to craft a story with. These guys are way better than just making the high kick and the combos and making it do the blips and bloops. They've got legit talent outside of it, and I'd love to see that executed under a Microsoft or an Xbox game studio.
Oh my goodness. And if Xbox got them, they would let them too. They'd be like, Ed Boon would be like, oh, can I do this? He'd be like, you know what? I like you. Do what you want. Yeah.
And hey, should we sell Mortal Kombat on all platforms? Yep.
Oh, but it's on Game Pass, so if you don't want to pay $60 for it.
Yep. Microsoft wins either way. Ed Boon wins either way. NetherRealm's happy. Like, that's how you do it, man. That is how you do it.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get that this show, but if we do...
I don't think you'll get it this show, but it is cool to think about.
How cool. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's talk about what's going to happen with Halo. So obviously we're going to see campaign, correct? We know that's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Warzone 2.0?
Yes.
What do you think Warzone 2.0 is going to be?
I don't have a good answer.
Oh man. Do you think we're going to get a beta soon?
Yes. Yes. So with Halo Infinite, this is the show where Halo needs to deliver. They can put Fable out there. They could show the new Batman, a lot of that. Mm-hmm. Halo needs to look like gold. They
Right.
need that God of War caliber game in Halo, and it has to be that for it to be special. They have rebuilt that Master Chief Collection to be legitimately incredible. They've got a good storyline with Halo Wars 2. They've abandoned a lot of the Reclaimer saga from 5. So they've got something special in the making. I'm told, like Tim Dog on the last episode of Iron Lords earlier today said that 10 minutes of gameplay. That's a big chunk. I'm not sure I buy that, but you get 10 minutes of campaign, or even 5. If you get 5 minutes of campaign somewhere in this week, dope. Sell it on people that are classically into it. I would love for Halo Infinite to be a 15-hour campaign, and then separate from that, like outside of the main single player, you are Chief campaign for all the purists that want it. Yeah. Then you have Destiny style strikes where you're fire team Majestic, fire team whatever, and you go out.
Do me like this, bro. You guys, that gave me chills, bro. Chill, bro.
And then you got Warzone, and there's a lot of ways to make it cool and still honor the single player, because that's what some people really want. Other people don't want that. They want the multiplayer suite.
Yeah.
And you'll talk, the free-to-play battle royale of Halo is going to happen. They said it wouldn't happen. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of timing. Yeah. It's just a matter of timing. They need a free-to-play Halo to make it compete with Call of Duty and with Fortnite. And that's just business realities. They need Halo to penetrate every market. And that's the way to do it. You make it free.
Yeah.
Imagine, so they show the campaign trailer, and then they show you inside of an ODST drop chain, whatever you want to call them, those little launch whatever things. You open it, all of a sudden there's all kinds of ODS people everywhere, and everyone's fighting. It turns into a BR.
Yep. I mean, that's not something that I'm like dying for personally, but you got to sell Halo to kids. Old guys like us are in there. Yeah. Like, we're in. I got every statue for Halo there is, man. But it's not to us that they need to sell it to. They've got customers that are so important, that are younger than us, and that don't even know or care what Halo is.
Yeah, it's true.
But even like, I don't love battle royales, but I will play them, and I'll have fun with them. But then, like, I mean, I don't stay long. But man, Halo and it's like so perfect because you don't have to have so many millions of different things. Like all these other ones, you're like, I got all these crazy attachments. I gotta let me change my scope. And they're like, I like how Call of Duty's is. It's like it's just a gun with these attachments already built on it. You're not changing it.
Yep.
Oh man, be fun, simple, easy. Do it, please. All right. You probably know more about this one than I do, but what the heck is Everwild? And what are we going to see about this? Because I don't even, do we know much about this?
I don't know a darn thing. I heard on the XCast, Alana Pierce said it's good. I think that was her that said that. I'm attributing that to her, but I don't know a darn thing about it. It looks cool in that one little, like, everybody knows the deer with the big leaf for ears kind of thing, and that's all we got. And I don't know. I mean, Rare is a strange company in their platform because Sea of Thieves is legitimately great now. Man, that thing had a rocky launch, but it's doing millions of players, and PC is skyrocketing. And I gotta say, they need to continue celebrating that legacy because Rare has so many IP. It was Rare Replay that was started off backward compatibility conversations, and now they've got Battletoads, which is likely to stealth drop.
That was one of my next ones.
I mean, I played it like it exists, and I think we're going to see a new Banjo. That's what I think you're going to get.
Really? Banjo Kazooie.
Oh man! Oh, you're killing me, Luke.
Hey man, gotta get excited, man. Gotta get excited.
I know. Listen, I don't know if there's a way they can live to the hype that I have built, like personal hype I have built for this. Like, I feel like no matter what, I'm going to be let down a little bit because I have so much hype built up for this.
But why do you have hype? Because they've not had a good generation. Yeah. And even when they've done it right, because they've had four very good E3s in a row.
Yeah.
And it still didn't change. It didn't change the landscape. They had great shows, but it didn't change the landscape. And they are well aware of it. They know it. This is the one. They're launching a system. They're talking about smart delivery. They're talking about all their services, and they've got to deliver. They only need one game to deliver. Like, imagine a God of War caliber game and then a bunch of meh Days Gone's.
Right.
You'd still be hyped on it because God of War, right? Like that, they just need one, and you're gonna be happy. Like that. That's the kicker there. You've got more than one.
So real quick, I'm gonna like jump off of like topic real quick because I guess Mage Quit is no longer on Game Pass. So and then I started thinking, so we're gonna change it to something else. So something else happens this week, and we're just gonna have everybody kind of whatever you play. So Xbox has that what's it called, the demo thing. No, the demo this week.
That's right. Yeah.
All week you have demos for like it's gonna by the end of it it's supposed to be 100 games. So I say we just I want everybody in the community just to play games, and if you like a game, tell us about it, and then we'll talk about it. Because I mean there's 100 games. Like we get to play freaking Destroy All Humans already, like the remastered or whatever you want to refer to it as, right? But oh man, it's gonna be sick. Summer Games Fest. Is it that what it's called, or what do they call it? Is that what they're
ID at Xbox something or not? It's something.
It's basically your ID at Xbox,
right?
But, yeah,
right.
But it's all gonna happen online. You just download whatever you want and play it. Oh man,
Summer Spotlight Series.
Summer Spotlight Series. There we go. I'm excited for it because that's gonna be like this golden opportunity to play anything without having to go wait in a line. Now, do they throw an Xbox or a Halo demo in there? Huh? I don't know. That'd be cool. We'll see. I think if they do, it's gonna wait. I think if the multiplayer or like a demo or whatever you want to call it, a beta for Halo comes out, it's gonna be the next week. I don't think they want to cross over with what they're doing for this ID stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Feels like a safe bet. Now we're gonna see more Elden Ring. What do you think, Luke?
I don't know. I've never played that. So
nobody's played it. We haven't seen very much of it. That's the problem.
Oh yeah. I guess that's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't have any interest in it, but like easily change my mind. Like that's the thing about Elden Ring. It's like it could be great, could not be. Like right now in that realm, I'm looking for the new Kingdoms of Amalur re-release thing happening, and that's the one I'm excited for. So like Elden Ring could easily sell me, but there's a lot of games like that, like Outriders and Elden Ring and what's the PS4 Godfall. Yep. There's a bunch of them that are just kind of like on the edge of that looks cool, maybe, you know. And there's a tough way to go when you have this crowded of a holiday. I see that COVID shirt, Spartan COVID relief.
No, so Josh was calling it out. I was like, I forgot to mention I'm wearing this shirt because I'm very excited for Halo. So, I'll tell you what, it's not the most thing I'm excited for. I'm gonna jump in my list to where what I'm really excited for is Fable.
Yeah,
like I put a lot of time
for that
into Fable, like especially 2. Oh my gosh, I played 2 so much. When we started first getting to bring other people to play with you, and they're playing as like your little ghost. Ugh. Like me, what was it the first PAX we went to? So I didn't really know anybody at the first PAX, and well, I don't drink, so kind of like you go to those parties and it's sometimes you get bored at those parties because you're like, well, I don't drink, so this is boring. Yeah. Me and Bobo went back to the convention center, and they do like the open floor where they play games, like they have old consoles and stuff. And me and Bobo legit went and played Fable 2. Like late at night, just at a PAX playing Fable 2 up there. I was like, yeah, this is sick, dude. I was like, this game's so good. So do you think it's gonna be a reboot, or do you guys think it's gonna be Fable 4? You got me. You think it's gonna be a reboot?
I never played Fable.
You never?
I know. Awesome. I never played Fable.
Did you not like them, Luke?
Not my jam. But at the time, not my jam. And that's the thing, is like it took Witcher 3 to get me into fantasy. Witcher 3 and Amalur were the 2 games that got me into fantasy. So like now, if I see a Fable, I'm into it. But I'm not like I've tried to go back to the back compat version. I'm like, this is not my jam. But I'm not like, dude, I don't care if it's a reboot or a soft reboot or it's a spiritual sequel, whatever it is. It just needs to be good. It just needs to be good. That's the thing, man. They don't need a Quantum Break. They don't need a Crackdown. They need a great game. No Rise. They need great games. Doesn't matter the name, ultimately.
Could you imagine though if we had a Rise 2? I'm just throwing that out there real quick too. Sorry. Imagine another Rise.
That's a choice. I mean, maybe they should not do that in the first year that it comes out, though. They don't need to bring back any juju from the old
Let's just stay away from
Xbox One, you know?
Come on, give me some Viva Pinata, though.
Oh, yeah, that would sell like gangbusters, man, given the way Animal Crossing is done.
Once people realize what it is. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 made a good point that it's not Lionhead making Fable anymore, so it's basically a reboot, right? So it's a whole new studio at this point. Do you think, I guess you guys, at least you've seen Fable, so you at least know what this art style is. Do you think they're going to keep that exact same art style? Just upgrade the graphics?
I was wondering that too, because I've seen Fable, and I think the art style I just wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at all.
I mean, have you seen Kingdoms of Amalur before?
I actually haven't, and I really want to play it from what I've heard about it, but yeah, I haven't even looked at anything about it yet.
That to me was the next step of Fable art when that first came out. And so I would think it'd be an evolution of that. It's worth your time looking up strictly to say, I think the Fable will be in that mindset. If they're, well, hold on, let me back that up. I don't know what Fable is going to look like. I think in all likelihood, it'll take a more realistic tone than cartoonish in order to help justify the Series X. I think what we really have no idea about is what this Perfect Dark business could be. That's a completely different thing. Whereas Fable, I think, will stick more to its roots, just looking a little bit sharper.
Yeah.
But we don't know what the Perfect Dark will be.
So do you think are you one of the it's initiative or it's somebody else making it? Because I've heard different stories. Yeah. I've heard different. Some people say that they could be a section of Rare doing it. Some people say there could be a section. Who was it they were talking about? I was listening to one and they were talking about another one of them doing another one of the studios doing it. But then Initiative's always the one that everybody assumes is making it.
I heard Coalition be tossed around in that.
Yeah, that was the other one. There you go. Yeah.
Maybe it is. If it's Initiative, you don't see it. If it's Initiative, you do not see it. They've got 2 teams, maybe 3 teams, 2 teams that they're ramping up within the Initiative. But I don't think you see Perfect Dark if Initiative is the one making it. I think you get a splash screen and Perfect Dark coming in Xbox or something like that.
A little Initiative logo at the bottom.
Right, but you don't see it per se, and that's how they wiggle out of that. But it's been in the presentation, out of the presentation, in, out, just because they are not sure what's happening, and I think COVID changed their plans 7 times over.
Yep. I think that's all my predictions. I mean, I got some other ones, but they're small. All right, are we going to see anything new with Minecraft? Are they going to bring ray tracing to consoles? We're going to hear about that. I mean, that's. I would assume Series X, yes, we'll have ray tracing on Minecraft. Will they make it work on Xbox One X? I don't know. Is there much you can really do to Minecraft other than just add expansions, right? And it's a more character packs almost. I don't even know what you add at this point. Will we get pod races on Destiny?
Pod races? Oh, you mean Sparrow Racing?
Yes,
people have been talking about that, them bringing that back, the Sparrow Racing League. I mean, it just there's not even, nobody even seems to have rumors about it. Usually people will even have rumors. There's nothing. Nobody's talking about it.
Speaking of Destiny, I said something in Luke Lore's channel yesterday. So when I go through Twitter or even on Facebook, whenever I see Destiny ads, I see the Xbox logo at the beginning of the Destiny ad.
Oh, you do?
So, yeah. So
on Twitch?
We did not see Call of Duty at PlayStation.
Another one too.
We didn't see that on PlayStation stage, and that is a big difference from this past generation, reminding me of the 360 era. Those are 2 deals that could have been struck before Bungie left Activision for marketing. Or maybe Bungie is just willing. I mean, they're on Stadia stuff as well. Somebody in our chat said that, right? I feel like someone noted that. So keep talking real quick. I got to go do something real quick. I will vamp for you. Don't you worry. There are several platforms or third-party games that have not been seen this year that look very much like they could be in this Xbox showcase. Call of Duty being one of them. I think Splinter Cell is a possibility, not likely, but possible. Destiny is they moved their last light
to
campaign.
November. Yeah.
which would line up with a console launch.
Exactly.
It maybe like they're legitimately doing work from home. So, I mean, you tell me, like, do you think that it's a realistic thing that they're bumping it for a console side-by-side launch, or are they're really struggling with making new content from home?
So I think it's a combination of things, right? So in the industry that I'm in, it's normally, I'm in the creative industry. So I work from user experience and UI design and development to commercial footage shoots, all kinds of things in the creative. I've worked for like a lot of major brands like Samsung, AT&T. So these type of projects, these huge projects, usually are not done remotely. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think everybody being forced to work remote, where there's always been people that work remote in my industry. There's like I work with people that are in New York City that will never go into an office, but it's just kind of always been that way. But the main office is always filled with people working on a project, you know. So I think that the fact that people got forced to work remotely, work from home, I don't think they were ready. I don't think they were ready. You know, these people are working on who knows how the size of these files that they're working on, the design, the 3D. I know how long it takes to render 3D stuff. You know, it takes hours. When we used to do just phones for Samsung, we used to make these videos for phones where we'd render the phones. We'd have to send a video just like a 10, not even 10, 30 second to a minute long video rendering a phone turning into a farm with a room full of computers and rendering it. So think about them building these designs, designing these characters. I've questioned how efficient they are working remotely for a while since this has happened. And I think it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of they can't get things done I think at the level of the quality that they really want it in the time that they have because of the remote thing. Because again, nobody was ready for it. Nobody was prepared to be forced to have to social distance so quickly, you know? So I thought it was rather ambitious for them to put the dates that they did put. I was like, wow, okay, you know, all right, I guess you guys are going to do it. And then it didn't surprise me that it got pushed. It didn't surprise me at all. So I think it's a combination of things. But that's just me.
I don't know where you guys were with that. Sorry, I just caught the end of it. So
we were really smart about a lot of things. Ready for the next topic.
Boom.
Not Destiny.
We were talking about Destiny pushing the launch date for the next expansion to November. And if it was due to basically them not really being able to do what they need to do because they're working remotely.
Or if Xbox showed up with the checkbook and was like, yo, what's up? How you doing?
I mean, that is a possibility. You know, like, look, why don't you guys delay it right before the launch? And then, you know, we'll do some kind of feature.
To delay it to, though.
Huh?
That's a terrible time to delay it to.
Yeah.
November is going to be a banger of a month.
Yeah.
Like it is. Yeah, you're swamped. And then what about Call of? We still don't know the date on Call of Duty too.
Yeah. But at least they're not coming out at the same time as Star Wars Squadrons. So
when is that? I totally forgot when that is. September?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing that one.
Yeah.
You playing that one, Luke?
Yo, gosh, are you kidding me? Absolutely. You put Star Wars on just about anything, and I'm in to try it. Yeah. And I really wish it was a Rogue Squadron game. Yeah. But I'm still going to check this one out. And it's aptly priced, man.
Yeah.
All in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, you guys got any more predictions you want to throw out there?
No, not me.
No, man, I feel like we covered a lot of it.
Yeah, we got a lot. That was good. I'm excited, man. This is going to be a show.
Halo comes out on November 7th. That's my prediction. That's November 7th.
November
11/7, 117.
So is that your console date then, too?
Yeah. Yes. Sure. I thought that was cool. November 7th. No, you know what, guys? You're supposed to be way more excited about that. Saturday, November 7th, 11/7, 117.
I don't know, man. I think I'm with Randall Thor. He's talking about October.
If they, dude, gosh, I would love that. But
Like
the Watch
middle of
Dogs
October?
Valhalla Avengers launching on back gen, like on this gen, makes me wonder about that. But I mean, October is a great time. But I mean, the truth is, none of us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people know, but they won't tell us. Just tell us. Just let us know.
No, you don't want to know before Thursday.
Will they
Can you
drop a
imagine
date?
How much you'd be deflated if you found out tomorrow and then Thursday they were like, "Hey, it's gonna come out this day," and you were like, "Yeah, I know."
Do you think they drop a date?
No. I think they save that
No
for
date,
August.
no price.
You don't put a date or a price for your Series X when you still got to talk about Lockhart and why that's worth your money.
Yeah.
So that's the idea there. I think you do that all at once and talk to me why one doesn't hold back the other and they're both worth your time.
Yeah. Josh says, I predict America will be broke by December from the console and games.
You're not making it to December. Come on.
Just, you got to get all your gaming in November and then just don't expect much in December.
Yeah. Dunzos.
Don't expect anything after December. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, I think that's the show.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Insipid or Luke, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was
for coming.
awesome having you on here, man.
Thank
You
you. I appreciate
enlightened
you having
all of us, and you made us. You made me feel like I don't know how to talk. I don't know English. But then again, you do teach for a living, so
Yeah, no, that's true, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
that was so much fun. You guys, we'll do a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. We got Dean Master, I'm Nuts for Butts, R56, Cooper Misby, Danny D, and Cheesehead, aka Cabeza de Queso. I say that because I say that literally every time I see him. I'm like, well, except for I say, what do I? Queso Cabeza? Yeah. Anyways, you guys want to check out our socials? You know where to find those. I said those already. Just go to Zyba.games. You'll be better off there.
Zyba.games.
Zyba.games. Not .com. .games.
Games.
Luke Lore, where can the people find you?
So, of course, I'm on Twitch at Insipid Ghost. I was in the chat. Also on Twitter at Insipid Ghost. But it would mean the world, because the grind is difficult sometimes when you do a solo show. If any of these amazing listeners to this show would be willing to download and check out the Xbox Expansion Pass, I have interviews on from people around the gaming industry, developers, personalities. I hope you enjoy the show if you're willing to check it out. Rate it if you're able. I will tell you that if you download the episode dropping in the next 2 hours, it'll be on your feed by tomorrow morning, but it drops at 9 p.m. tonight. It is going to give you a lot of insight and stuff that's not publicly out there about the demise of Mixer. So if you want to hear some of the backstory there and how some of the staff dealt with that, I think you would be interested in that because it's an interview that with some people with some insight. So.
Well, our communities are both very Mixer. So, like almost probably a good 95%, maybe even more at this point.
Well, in that case, I hope you guys check out the episode, and I hope you enjoy it if you're willing.
I will definitely be checking it out. You guys are just missing out in general if you're not checking out Xbox Expansion Pass. Like, I'll say it over and over again, bro. You literally have the most well put together podcast that I listen to, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. But yeah, man, it is awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
You guys already know where to find me and Yogami. If you don't know where that's at, just go to Twitch and you'll find us.
We're there.
But Yogami's also on everything else, and he's really good at social media. I'm trash at social media. What is social media? I don't know. But I'm there. Yogami's got Yogami. You know what, Yogami? Just tell everybody where they can find you.
I am on twitch.tv/Yogomi, YOGOMI. I'm on Twitter at Yogomi HQ, Instagram as Yogomi, and I have a website, yogomi.com, which I am slacking on a little bit, but I'm going to be putting some new stuff. I have a YouTube channel, YouTube youtube.com/Yogomi. I'm actually working on making some new videos. I'm taking the Yogomi Show Me shows and making YouTube versions of those. Some of them I have to break up in 3 parts because, the show lasts
long.
4 hours. Yeah. So making a YouTube version of those and some other fun stuff I'm going to be putting on YouTube. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, you can find me there.
Okay.
Just search
Sweet.
YOGOMI. You'll find me.
Yo. Are you doing drum streaming a little bit?
Yep. About to do a drum stream.
It's dope. Make sure you guys check that out. That's it. You guys, thanks so much for coming to this week's episode of Zyba Games. We love your faces, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Luke, you can say bye.
Oh, goodbye, everybody. You're awesome.
Yeah, got him.